Warm welcome to our UMS release session about UMS 12.08.100. We already had the chance to look at the new features yesterday in the internal session, and Florian Strobl was so kind to join us for an IGEL Community release session around this wonderful new UMS release. Florian, how are you?
Hello, Sebastian. I'm fine, thanks. How are you?
I'm doing well. It's sunny outside, it's getting warmer, and next week we are in Zurich for the Now and Next tour. I couldn't be happier. Thanks for asking.
Perfect. Summer is coming. Great. So thank you so much for having me here. I have a bunch of new features I want to present to you. I would say let's start directly. So I would like to show you all the new features for the UMS 12.8.100. The release date is actually today, so May 27th. Later in the afternoon, we will release the new version. And the first feature that is quite important is the user management. Until now, you had to use the UMS console in order to create and manage your users. So you could create the users, you could create groups, and then you add the global permissions and so on in the console. Now, all of this is possible in the web app. So you have a new tile here on the landing page. You also have it in the menu bar. You click on user management, and then you come to this new page where you can create new users. You can rename them. You can assign them to groups. You can change the password for it. You can change the global permissions, or you can delete users or groups. So all of the actions that you could do in the console are now available here in the web app. The next big feature is something I'm very happy and proud to present, because I guess since more than 1 year, I had this feature on my roadmap presentation, also here in the community. And now finally, we can say that, we are going to release this. It's the centralized login process for the UMS and the support for single sign-on and multi-factor authentication. That means that we had to re-architecture the whole login process. So we have now one synchronized, one unified process for the UMS web app and the console. And because of that, it's now possible to support single sign-on and multi-factor authentication. So if you're using an IDP that is following the OpenID Connect protocol, so OAuth2, like Entra ID, Okta, Ping Identity, then it's possible to use this IDP in order to log in into your UMS. How does this work? So first, you need, of course, to configure the IDP in the UMS. In the next step, you need to create IDP roles. So what is this exactly? So on the right side of the slide, you can see a chart. And in the IDP itself, normally you create the users and you give roles to this user. We need to match this role to the UMS. Therefore, you need to create an IDP role manually in the UMS, and it needs to match the naming of the role of the user. And then you assign the IDP role to a group, and the group has normally permissions. And with that, for example, if John Doe is logging in with a specific role like admin, the UMS knows the role and knows, okay, the admin belongs to the group, for example, admin, and therefore John Doe will get all the permissions of the group of admin. That's how it works. And I'm sure there will be proper documentation about this, right, Sebastian?
You bet, you bet. We are in the, let's say, ending phase of this documentation step. So everyone who is listening, please visit kp.igel.com around next week. So we are talking about the week following the release, and we will cover the single sign-on process as detailed as possible. So please leave us feedback. Also in our Hyper Talk feedback process at the end of each SSO page, so we know if we match your expectation. Thank you.
Perfect. The next feature is safe support information. So that's a feature that is designed for the support use case, and also something that was only available in the UMS console. So it's a feature where you can collect all the system information from UMS, ICG, and all the device log files in order to provide this, for example, for the IGEL support colleagues. Now this is also available in the UMS web app. So it's a great optimization of the help desk use case. So now you can collect all of the information in the web app. And also a nice optimization here is you can define what you want to collect. So you can collect the system information and the log files of the device, but you can also say you just want to have the system information or you want to have only the log files from the devices. So that's a great optimized process here and available with 12.08 in the UMS web app. Another feature that we are moving from the console to the web app is the first authentication key. As you probably know, with OS 12, we introduced a new registration method, the onboarding service. But besides of that, of course, there are also other alternative registration methods for devices. One of them is the first authentication key method. And now you can create the mass deployment keys and the one-time keys in the UMS web app. So you can create the keys there, define it, then give it to the end user. They type it in during the onboarding wizard, and then they will be registered in the UMS. So another great optimization of the UMS web app. One feature that you probably know from OS 11 is now also available for OS 12. It's the asset inventory tracker. That means that you can now monitor USB and Bluetooth connected peripherals, for example, USB sticks, keyboards, and so on in the UMS web app. Use cases for this is, for example, the help desk. So, for example, if a user is calling the help desk because something is not working, like the keyboard, they see immediately if the keyboard is even connected to the device or not. Another use case is security. So you can now monitor which peripherals are connected to the devices in your environment. So that's a great feature and now available for OS 12 for all of our enterprise customers. Another very big feature of IGEL is the IGEL Managed Hypervisor. You probably heard a lot about it during Now and Next and another or different sessions from product marketing. I don't know, Sebastian, if this was also mentioned during some community sessions. I'm pretty sure it was.
Yeah, it was. We had the chance to have the product management team 1.5 weeks ago, so right after our internal SNF day meeting. And we covered most of the product roadmap informations, and therefore IGEL Manager Hypervisor was already mentioned by, if I remember right, Christian Werner.
Perfect, great. So I just want to focus here on the UMS side of the feature. So with UMS 12.8, it's now possible to manage IGEL managed hypervisors in the UMS. So you can display all the VMs in the device detail section of devices. So you can see the state of the VM, if it's running, if it's stopped. And of course, you can send specific commands to the VM, like start, stop, reimage, or even wipe the VM. In order to do this, you need a global permission. It's the hypervisor management permission. And you can already see this in the console and in the UMS web app in the new user management. We got a lot of feedback, or we got some feedback from you that especially for new customers, sometimes it's overwhelming when they start with a new UMS and they need to create their first profiles, how to do this and so on. And therefore, we discussed it with our customers, with our UI UX team, and we came up with a new feature called Quick Profile Setup. That means that for specific apps, and there will be more and more apps compatible with this, we reduce the configurations only to the necessary ones. So For example, it will start with Firefox or Chromium, and normally you just want to configure the app. So you want to have it on the desktop, you want maybe to have it in the menu area, or you want to have an auto restart of the app. But that's everything you want to do. And in the full setup, there are a lot of more parameters, and this could be quite confusing. So with the quick profile setup, you would only see these most relevant parameters on one side. You can decide if you want to enable it or not, and you're guided step by step through it. And then in the end, the profile with the app is configured and you can roll it out. So it's really a stepwise wizard mode in order to configure your apps. As I said, in the first step, we want to make this available for our browser apps like Firefox, Chromium, Edge. But of course, we will then also work on other apps like VDI apps. Another improvement that comes hand in hand with this feature is the app selector. With now much more apps in the app portal, it's necessary to have a filter option in the UMS web app in order to find your app quite fast. So you can type in the name of the app, and then you can find it. So it's a much better usability here to select the apps. Another small feature that helps your admins is that every admin in the UMS now has the feature to change my password. So until now, only the people that have user management rights could do this. Now every user can change their password in the settings area. With the UMS 12.7, we introduced the quick start configurations. That's another step to help new customers, small customers, in order to explain them and help them how to set up their environment in the UMS. We had that in the settings area, and now we also have a link in the section where profiles, priority profiles, and so on are normally shown. So if you have a new UMS with no profiles or no priority profiles on it, you will see the screen where you can then click on the button, explore quick start configurations. You are linked to the knowledge base page with all the quick start configurations, so pre-configured profiles. You can download them, import it in the UMS, and then you have best practices how to configure your devices. We also redesigned the indexer of the UMS web app. So until now, the indexer was running every hour in order to give you the most current data of your devices. We changed the logic here, and now devices report updates on the fly. That means within 30 seconds, devices will send updates to the UMS, and then you can see directly in the UMS web app search. Of course, there's also a complete re-index of all devices and permissions. This will occur per default once a day now, but you can change the interval between 1 hour and 1 day, and you can define when it should start. So if you have it once a day, for example, you can say it should be triggered at 2 a.m. in the night. And with that, the indexing would happen not during the working hours. As always, we have updates for Tomcat and Java. So Tomcat is updated to the most recent version 10.1.39, and we also have the most recent Java update. The same for ICG. We updated it to the most recent versions. And now to put everything in a nutshell, why should you upgrade to UMS 12.8? So as I said, we moved a lot of features from the console now also to the UMS web app. The user management, the safe support information, and the first authentication key is now available. And that are great reasons in order to go to the 12.8. Another very nice feature is the single sign-on and multi-factor authentication. So we have a lot of customers, or a lot of admins, they have the pressure that all of their tools should support single sign-on, and now the UMS is capable of doing this. We have the management capabilities for the hypervisors in the UMS, and we have now also the quick profile setup in order to help new customers and existing customers to create simply and fast app profiles. And of course, we always have the security updates, so you can stay on the most secure version. At the end,
Sorry, go ahead. I just wanted to add some last sentence.
Yeah, I just want to highlight here that OS 11 is end of maintenance, end of this year. And if you are still on UMS 6, please update to UMS 12.8. Because even if you have OS 11 devices, UMS 12 is totally capable of managing OS 11 devices, okay? So if you do now the switch to UMS 12, you don't have to switch to UMS 12 and OS 12 end of this year. Maybe it's much more easier if you now do the switch to UMS 12, you can still manage OS 11 devices, and then you can smoothly migrate to OS 12 as well.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to mention, because you are missing a lot of great features. I mean, you are seeing it in every release session that Florian is delivering, but you're also missing a lot of security fixes that might impact your security scanners, your security department vision on what the UMS is capable to do. And if you have any questions how you can update from UMS 6 to 12, there is a very good KB article we will link into the recording. And obviously, if you're not part of the IGEL community, join us on join.igelcommunity.com, and we are happy to give you some advices how you could upgrade such an environment to 12.08.
Exactly. And with that, we are at the end of the presentation. Thank you very much. I'm very looking forward for your feedback about the UMS 12.8. And with that, I give back to you, Sebastian.
Thank you very much, Florian. Thank you also and to all the developers who have participated in that amazing release. I mean, the SSO topic was asked so many times over such a long time frame that no one really couldn't be happier to see it coming now into this release. So thank you very much all. I wish you a pleasant rest of your day. See you soon. And for Susu and Zurich, see you next week in Switzerland. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.